Hey everyone, it's Dina and welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is all about how to expand your capacity to receive. I had recorded a previous episode, number 44, on how to start receiving by utilizing things like accepting compliments with ease. That was like the first step I discussed. But in this episode, I want to go a little bit deeper and help you with expanding your capacity to receive in bigger and better ways. And I'm going to share with you some tools I've used in the past to help me expand my capacity to receive. But I would love for you to visit or revisit episode number 44 and re-listen to that episode or listen to that episode if you haven't listened to it before, and get some insight on some initial things you can do to kind of put you in that receiving energy. If you haven't been a good receiver yourself, you've always been a giver, and now you really want to open yourself up to receiving, then please listen to episode number 44, and then you can come back and listen to this episode again. A lot of times during my readings, I've seen that my clients want so much. They desire a lot. They want to manifest all these beautiful things. But when I go a little bit deeper into the energy or the chakras, I kind of find out that they've really blocked themselves from receiving the goodness that they really want to manifest. And this is because they might have some underlying worthiness issues, some underlying issues around deservingness, or it could be simple as them not able to open up the receiving channels because they've always been a giver. They've always given their time, their money, their resources since they were a child, perhaps sometimes. And this comes from this energy of people pleasing, where they always wanted to please people, thinking that if they please people, that's the only way they're going to be able to be liked by somebody. And this has got them into this chronic energy of giving. They're always giving. They're always giving, and they never learn how to receive. And so this episode, I wanted to share how you could use some simple tools to help you open up to the receiving, because the universe wants to bless you with so much abundance, and the universe wants to give you exactly what you desire, because whatever it is that you're looking for, the universe also wants to give those things to you. But because you have a block or a limiting belief around receiving, you are not able to receive the goodness that wants to come to you. So just like you learn how to tune into more abundance, you need to tune into how to receive. You need to tune into the energy of receiving. And I'm going to share some tools that I use because I was a chronic giver myself, and this has enabled me to really step into more of that receiving energy, because it feels nice to receive too. And also it completes this energy, because just like you give, you also need to receive, and when you receive, you give. It's like two sides of the same coin. Both of these energies have to be balanced in your life. Let's do a little exercise here. So the first thing you want to do is close your eyes and ask the angels, guides, ascended masters, the universe, to show you a percentage that tells you what percentage are you a giver. So when I used to do this exercise, I would see a percentage. And when I started doing this, I would see a 95%, sometimes a 97%. Ideally, you should see a 50%, meaning you're giving 50%, you're receiving 50%. Now I'm really balanced with this, because whenever I do this mini exercise where I close my eyes, ask my guides and angels to show me a percentage of the giver I am, a percentage that represents my giving energy, I always see a 50%. So that's good. That means I'm balanced. But initially, while you do this exercise, you might see very different numbers. You might see like a 95 or a 97% like I saw. But don't panic. That's the reason you're utilizing this tool, and that's the very reason why you're listening to this episode, so you can change that just like I did. And so the first thing you want to do to change that is use an affirmation. And that's exactly what I did. Look for a receiving affirmation. And the one I love the most is I am now open to receiving or you can utilize I'm now wildly open to receiving. The reason I like doing receiving is because it's in the present tense. It's more like you're actually receiving. So I love using I'm wildly open to receiving, or I'm now open to receiving. Whichever one resonates with you, utilize that. Now, don't just do this affirmation for one day or a couple days and think that you will start manifesting and widely be open to receiving. Affirmations are retraining your subconscious mind, so you need to do it every single day. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit, so you might want to continuously do it for 21 days in the beginning and then see what results you get. Because it's really training your subconscious mind, and you're retraining it to do something different. And remember that you've done this, being a chronic giver from God knows how many years, since your childhood. So don't expect it to change in a day. So persistence is key here. You need to be utilizing these affirmations on a daily basis. And affirmations don't have a perfect time to do them. You can do them anytime when you're doing a mindless activity. Utilize an affirmation when you're washing your dishes, perhaps you're driving. Keep repeating the affirmation in your mind or out loud if you can. And this is something you need to do on a daily basis, persistently. And the second tool I want to share is journaling. I found that journaling is super important when you're trying to open up your receiving channels, because it helps you become aware of where it is that your block is or your limiting belief is around receiving. So perhaps you have a self-worth issue, perhaps it's more of a deservingness issue, or perhaps you're just not able to receive because you're super uncomfortable around receiving. So you need to find out where it is that you have your block or your limiting belief around receiving. And I find that journaling helps me put my thoughts into words, into paper, and it helps me organize my thoughts more, and it helps me kind of determine where it is that I am having that block around receiving. So journal, and you can use a journaling prompt that will help you, something like, why am I not able to receive? That could be your journaling prompt. And then journal everything that comes through. And the best thing about journaling that I've noticed is that you need to write things out pretty quickly. Don't try to judge them. Don't try to analyze the thoughts. Quickly jot them down. Whatever comes through, jot it down, because that is exactly what you need to hear, because your subconscious mind is really giving you all these cues when you ask that question, why am I not able to receive? So the second thing you can do is journal. And the third thing that I love to do is make a prayer. Make your own prayer, customize your own prayer around receiving. And I'm going to share with you my prayer that I've made around receiving, that I read out loud every day during my journaling session. So after I journal, I'll say that prayer, or I have it memorized in my mind sometimes and I say it more like an affirmation. But you can utilize both a prayer and an affirmation to help you open yourself up to receiving. And the prayer that I have written for myself is, Dear Universe, thank you for changing me into a divine channel that is open and ready to receive the lavish abundance of the universe with so much ease and grace. So be it, it is done. So I always start the prayer with a thank you, because the thank you tells me that I've already received it. And then I say what I have to say, and then I end it with so be it, it is done. And that tells my mind that it is done. It's already done. It's a done deal. And then I also can say thank you again if that's something you want to add after. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you gained a lot of insight on how to open yourself up to receiving. And if you want to share your experiences with me, then please DM me on my Instagram page. My handle is @Dina Vesram. Talk to all of you soon. I'll connect later. And until then, so much love and light. Thank you. Bye-bye.